Welcome into Clippers Talk. After dark, we're up finally. Sorry, I took my time. Why? I went through a Taco Bell drive-through, of course. I heard earlier that they got this new throwback menu, and I was way too tempted, of course. What do you expect out of me? I'm weak. I'm sad. No, I'm pretty happy. Clippers got the victory over Paul George. We'll listen to some of the post-game sound together with what he said after the game and see how you guys feel about that. But overall, I don't think there's many Clippers fans complaining tonight. Uh, only had to block like one guy. Chris G said, "Let's go, B team." Hip to Clip said, "What's up, Adam? Sorry for not waving back. I got distracted. I'll get you next time." Oh, yeah, I was waving towards the wall earlier. Somebody said they were there. It's like, show me where you're at. Wave. Hell of a win, Clipper Nation. Not shocking. I said earlier today that this is a game they need to get, and they got it with some style points, with winning in decisive fashion, convincing fashion. And everyone is up for this one because it was against Paul George. So I'll stay up for a while. If you guys are with it, I'm with it. Jonathan Ing said we won. Clippin' Man said addition by subtraction. Isn't it interesting that Norman Powell is backing up his talk and did so tonight against a guy who sometimes we're just known for not backing up his with I'm going to be on my bully stuff and all that. Norm's backing up his talk, addition by subtraction. Bunit Chima said this team can come out the West with Kawhi. Your best player playing turns it into a whole new team. I mean, I agree. I was talking about that earlier today. So apparently, Kawhi Leonard said, not apparently, it's a quote from Om Yamasuk of ESPN from back in training camp, where Kawhi believes he can win with this team. Kawhi's not saying that like just to do lip service. He doesn't care. If Kawhi thought there needed to be a trade, he would probably say so. I don't think Kawhi's BSing. I think he's being honest, as he typically is. Ex Mongo Project said, "I'm happy today." Jonathan Ing said, "PG's full of crap with him saying he doesn't understand why he got booed. Dude lacks so much self-awareness." We'll listen to that quote in a little bit. Today was a good day. Didn't get the fat burger, got the Taco Bell. Bunit said, "Has Kawhi done anything? His braids aren't done, and he looks like he hasn't done serious training in months." We don't know. Strengthening of the knee is all we've heard. Sam Sanatorium said, "I don't have anything to say." He doesn't want a timeout. I did block a guy earlier who wouldn't stop talking about. You guys can tell me if I'm wrong about this, I'll unblock him. But I probably should have blocked him even before this because he was just spamming and going over and over again and saying the same thing. And so I disagreed with him about how the Clippers could have still gotten Chris Dunn on a sign and trade if they were above the second apron, meaning if they had re-signed Paul George, would they have still been able to do that sign and trade with Russell Westbrook going to Utah and Chris Dunn coming to the Clippers on the sign and trade? I said no. They wouldn't be able to do that over the second apron. He kept saying they could and other random things. Fahad Sharif said, "I've been saying Norman is going to give you more threes at a higher efficiency with less turnovers and dribbling the air out of the ball." I mean, Norman's looked great so far. Art 8 said, "I'm glad Intuit booed way off P." He did have one shot. He went 7 of 9, but one of his misses was rough. I think it hit the left side of the backboard. It was a three-pointer. He almost had a putback dunk, though, on Ivica Zubac, and he hit a couple of crazy tough shots. I mean, his first two makes were threes, and they were tough. But to start the fourth quarter, he hit a nuts step back jumper from 18 feet out over a double team of Chris Dunn and Nico Batum. So Paul George played well. He had 18 points. He only took 9 shots. This was my concern of him in the playoffs. Why did he only take 15 shots per game? They needed more. Puneet said Kawhi looked happy on the sideline. Looks like he likes the defensive personnel and mindset. It does look like a team that really, you were right. The second apron requires dollar for dollar on salaries. I knew it. Lucas Hahn would know better. No, but I knew there was a dollar for dollar thing, and I don't think Dunn's contract and Westbrook's works dollar for dollar, right? So therefore, it wouldn't have worked. Maybe I should unblock that guy now, just so he can see how wrong he was. I feel like I should do that. Maybe I will tomorrow. I don't think Paul George is necessarily a punk. I'm trying to eat healthy, but I wanted to celebrate, and I forgot to go to the store earlier today, and I'm a mess. Hip to Clip said after Norm hit that 3 in the fourth with about 6 minutes left, he turned to the Sixers bench and said something. I assume it was directed towards PG. Yeah, they were going back and forth. Did you see both of them foul one another in consecutive possessions, playing hard defense? Dwayne said it was nice to see Kawhi engaging with the team after the Dunn jam. X-Mongo Project said, we took the taxpayers mid-level exception too. We wouldn't have signed Derek Jones Jr. and Batum. That's what I said. Like, none of these guys. My point was, for everyone saying they got nothing for Paul George leaving, it was crap. It was misinformation. What they got was being under the first apron, which got them Batum back, which got them Derek Jones Jr., which got them Chris Dunn. And then this guy came out and said, no, they could have got Chris Dunn anyways, basically. But he was wrong. Apparently. Dollar for dollar. I was pretty sure about that. Chris G said, LOL, PG acting like he doesn't know why we're booing. I don't know if he's acting. Ross said Dunn is paid over the minimum. Russ was on a minimum. There you go. The money wouldn't have worked. It has to be dollar for dollar when you're over the second apron. Bunit said PG would have cried if he stayed and we traded Russ. Soggy Cereal said, Powell, such a pro, nothing but net. Let's keep our expectations grounded, but this team is fun to watch. I agree. Keep the expectations grounded. Feet on the ground, head in the clouds. Bunit said, thoughts on Harden not being able to put the ball in the hole. It's been like that all season so far. I have talked about it. He is tired. He's 35. He's having to do far too much. I'm not surprised by this. So here's the exact quote from Kawhi Leonard at training camp in Hawaii that came out today from Om Youngmasuk of ESPN. So he said, yes, things change. Players are gone. Do I feel like I could win with these players? I feel like I could win with the players that are on the roster. So yeah, kind of robotic, a Kawhi type of answer. That's okay. I don't think he's BSing when he says, I feel like I could win with the players that are on the roster. Because later on, he makes a really interesting point about team building. Kawhi is a really smart guy. Really, really heady. He said, you don't need that many stars to win. It's about the amount of people you have around you. You need talent. If it's 3 superstars, you still need those role players or piece players within that team to make you win a championship, even if it's 2 or 1 star player. Quote, we'll see as the season goes on and the pieces we need, or if this or if it's the right team to win. We feel like we got some players that could help us, but we'll see as it unfolds. I find that pretty encouraging. Yeah, Sacramento's going to be really tough. Jonathan Ing said, shout out to the wall managers tonight with the signage and messaging directed at Paul George. Man, that sign. PG, think before you speak. Should I make that my background? I just can't believe that happened. That was pretty wild. Am I wrong about that? I think I got to make this my background right now because it is a topic of conversation that is not going away anytime soon. And this is what Clipper Nation has been frustrated with more than anything when it comes to Paul George. It is the mixed messaging, the double speak, saying one thing, doing another, saying one thing, saying another, putting your foot in your mouth. That's, I think, what is the problem has been with Clipper Nation. There you go. Of course, my head's in the way of it, right? Maybe it's the chair. Maybe I need a different angle of this. I can probably find another picture too. Ooh, it was rough. PG, talk less, play more. Man. Clipper Nation came prepared. The wall was not playing at all with Paul George. You guys say what you want about the think before you speak message. The commitment to booing was outstanding from everyone. I mean, if that's your thing, you pulled it off. I did stand and clap for his tribute video. I don't have a problem saying that. Paul George made my job way easier a lot of the time. So I come from a little bit of a different perspective on this. But I absolutely get the animosity and you guys going at him the way you did. Everybody with their back turned too. Think before you speak. Man, you were on top of him all night long. That was a commitment to booing him every time he got the ball. Jay said he's clueless. Soggy Cereal said Kawhi type of answer is like reading your fortune cookie. Daro said, what's up? What's up? That Mexican Nara said he clearly didn't read the sign with his post-game comments. He was being probed a little bit by Miriam Swanson of the OC Register asking, did you see it? But she didn't bring up what the sign was. So it's possible he saw it and just wanted to act like he didn't. Bunit said, I'm surprised PG wasn't airballing more or hitting only backboard. He usually gets nervous. I mean, he's had some really big games. His playoff runs, it's just up and down. Jay said, rush home after the game to drop off my son and get to work. Wide awake, riding off that high from the W right now. Was surprised of all the empty seats, but it was fun surrounded by silly fans. X-Mongo Project said, this is PG's only Intuit game, right? This season, unless they meet in the finals. Ross said, yeah, Dunn made $5 million, just over it. Westbrook, $3 million. Several teams wanted Dunn. That is why the Clippers offered over the minimum. So that guy was wrong. I feel like I'm going to end up with him making some rant about me on the Reddit message board for the Clippers or something. Adam was wrong and he blocked me. And he's so arrogant and condescending. It's like, he was wrong. Like, what do you want me to do? And he kept spamming. Like, he wasn't being, he was just going out of his mind. He just kept spamming in here. Jay said, PG borderline. No, come on. Too far. Chris G said, that was ruthless. LOL. Those signs were the right way to express ourselves in the most classy way. Loved it. Bunit Chima said they overpaid the crap for PG. MKXLNT said, great crowd tonight. Way more fun when you all show up. Yeah, I agree. It still could have more people. Paul George pointed that out post-game. I don't know if he meant that as a diss or a shot. Miss Shake said he had his head down the entire time while we held the sign up. He was looking at a tablet intentionally and didn't look at the wall. So, Miss Shakes, being one of the leaders of the wall in the supporter section, who orchestrated this? Who came up with this idea? And how did you get the signage in there? These giant, cardboard poster boards. Jay said, "Was that your first time seeing someone throwing a basketball back onto the court? It's when Chuck threw it into the crowd. He must have been a silly fan." And yeah, the tribute video almost got me. I saw it pregame and it did get to me, guys. It did. I got in my feelings a little bit. I was thinking about the run in 2021. I was thinking about everything that should have happened in the 2-1-3 era and just the what if story. And yeah, it made me a little bit emotional. I'm not going to lie. I saw it about 2 hours before the game and I was just like, oh, it could have been all that hope and promise and just injuries. Whew. Keep moving forward. Bunit said, I want to see Philly to keep losing so PG starts making excuses. I mean, he did make some excuses for his play post game. You could argue, but I think it's fair. It's just his second game back. Like, he's not going to be up to speed yet. And he hit some incredible shots, man. Steve B said, PG said so many bad things about the Clippers after he left. That's what people are upset with. So let's get into it. Let's play the Paul George audio for you guys. Tomer Azarli had a little bit louder of an audio bite of what Joey Lynn also had. The one that is sticking in people's craw a little bit. And look, I don't know how pointed you take this, because I think this is something from Paul George's perspective and a player perspective that they've always pushed back against. Like when players don't ask to be traded and they still get booed afterwards, that's what I think they find frustrating. And I guess that's true in this case, but I don't think they're booing him because he left. That's not why people are booing. So let's listen to this.
Though at all that they booed you for large stretches of that game, like after 5 years here, playing your heart out for them, like does that bother you at all?
I mean, it's stupid. I mean, I was a free agent. You know what I mean? I was a free agent. It wasn't something that I, demanded a trade or, went against the team here. Like, I was a free agent. The team presented something that was team friendly, and I did what was best for me in that situation. So there was the cheers. I appreciate them. Those were the ones that I played hard for. The boos, I didn't get it. I still don't get it when I go to Indy. But it is what it is. It's sports. That's what's in sports. So yeah, I look forward to next year being back here, and more boos.
Thanks, Paul.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
So audio from Tomer Azarli. The question was asked from Justin Russo at Fly By Night. The thing is, I think the word that is jarring for people or stands out there is stupid. But I think all he means is nonsensical. Why would you boo someone when they didn't ask to leave or they were just a free agent? It was well within their rights for them to leave. What I think he's missing here is they are not booing. Correct me if I'm wrong, but from everyone I've talked to, it's not so much they're booing because he left. They're booing because of, failed promises, failed to come through on certain things, not backing up talk, and calling them the B team and acting like he was stabbed in the back and kind of playing the victim, it seemed like, on that show with his dad. Why does Kai only play 5 minutes a game? Because he was playing pretty bad and has been playing pretty bad. The last 3 games, the Kai minutes have not been great, guys. I know he had a lob from half court he caught, but he has been way out of position on some stuff. Check out the highlights or just watch the tape. Jay said he literally thinks he gave us no reason to boo him. Dude is a space cadet. I think there's a disconnect between players not understanding fans and fans not understanding players sometimes, and they just can't, live and walk a mile in the other person's shoes and understand it. That Mexican Nara said we are booing due to his comments after, and that's what it is. Like, just don't make the B team comment, and don't talk back and forth within the same minute and say, just give me what Kawhi got. So then they offer the 150, and I'm like, we're in the ballpark now. What you just said, just give me what Kawhi got. I don't know. It's frustrating to listen to the mixed messaging. That's what it feels like. He was asked about if there was any bad blood between him and James Harden. And he said, no, there wasn't any bad blood between any of the guys. He said he informed Kawhi, James, Russell Westbrook of what his intentions were. So that stuff was kind of put to rest on whether or not he was, throwing shade at James Harden, maybe. Depending on if you want to believe him. Jay said Sixers fans are already mad at PG only taking 9 shots. Said they would be cool with him taking 32 shots. They don't know who they have. I mean, that is fair. Chris G said definitely would help bring more fans if tickets were a bit fair, especially the parking. BK said, to be honest, I'd love to go to a game, but the fact that the tickets are just too expensive right now, kind of sad. Ex Mongo Project said it would be funny if those signs were Kawhi's idea. I don't, guys, they're close. They're tight. Paul George talked about it yesterday. I didn't see this one. I can continue to put up and change my background here. This is a different one. People came prepared. I mean, Clipper Nation showed out for this game. Everybody was ready to go after Paul George and let him know how you felt about him. Express yourself. And I think it's all fair game as long as there's nothing vulgar or too over the line. Think before you speak. That's really harsh. But this guy says it's championship podcaster he had up. Ex Mongo Project said, is PG's pod hurting his rep more? I don't think so. Not yet. But if he struggles in Philly, he's going to get destroyed for it, of course. Cali 2025 said, I'm a fan of Paul George, but makes sense to me as to why he was booed. He left, chose money over staying and winning our first NBA championship. That's the other perspective. Some people feel like that. I don't. Like, it's $70 million more, and he still has a chance to win a championship in Philly and probably has a better one at the moment. Now, Kawhi gets healthy, different story. I know Embiid has his own health issues, but they also have a young buck there in Tyrese Maxey, which the Clippers don't really have. James Harden's 35. Jay said he literally thinks he gave us no reason to boo him. Yeah, I read that one. Ross pointed out how Kai is making some bad reads. He is. He's a backup center. He's a good athlete. The game was moving too fast for him at times in this one. In fact, I took some notes. I think I had something on Kai Jones in this game and one of the misplays he had. Kai had a bad possession. Oh, yeah. He brought the ball up a little bit on a steal on a turnover. He dribbled too much, and then he turned it over. Like, he should have just picked up his dribble. Just pick up your dribble and find a guard. He had crossed half court. Ball was in his hands. He kept trying to dribble and turn it over. Just pick it up, my guy. It was a Mason Plumlee type of turnover. Jonathan Ing said, the science from the wall encapsulates the reasons why PG got booed incessantly tonight. There's no way he didn't get why the fans booed him because he saw the signs. I'm guessing he must have seen some of them. I don't see how he couldn't. Jay said we would cheer him if he never made comments, but then he says more stuff. LOL. He can't stop himself. Well, he is doing a podcast. Bunit said he's a con artist. That's harsh. Evilbot said about time this green screen, but we need those people watching the content we bring into you all to like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Hit the button. Hit it. I'm trying to get to 3,000. I appreciate you guys, but it definitely helps, and you help the show grow. The more episodes I will do, I promise you. Rock said, since relationship-wise things didn't go well with Brand and the Clippers, do you see a situation that the Clippers don't retire the 213 numbers? No, they will. It would be a bad look, I think, if they didn't. Things got really nasty between both parties, but we shall see. That Mexican Nara said, I believe it when I hear it from Harden and Kawhi when it comes to well, Kawhi has already said that Paul George talked to him about his decision, so he has confirmed that. James Harden wasn't asked about it. Jonathan Ing said, PG refusing to empty the clip, guns blazing, nothing new. I was talking to a security guard, I guess a personal security guard for Paul George. You know what? I'm going to hold on to this story. Twain said, we got to witness bad body language, Bones Highland tonight. There was a time where he brought it up and Coach Lou was saying something to him, and I wasn't sure if Bones Highland was being receptive to what Coach Lou was saying or not. He also played some ISO ball. That was a really bad stint from the backups, including Jordan Miller. Rock said, like if the Clips make a conference finals again and make the same heights. Not sure what the first part of that is. Shout out to The Wall, says that Mexican Nara. The Wall was fierce. Out for blood. Here's another one. This is... You guys are creative and putting in a lot to this night to go after Paul George. And I'm not hating on you for it. I'm not. I think most of it was just in the bounds of being a fan, and you got a voice. You paid for the ticket. You want to be heard. Make your voices heard. Here's another one. So this is saying, PG talk less, play more. PG talk less, play more. The blue one right there. And then another guy back here has one saying, think before you speak, with two different signs. So how much coordination went into this, and where was like the forum where everybody got together and said, this is going to be what we're saying. Think before you speak. Because it seemed to be a real theme here. PG talk less, play more. Like, I don't think all of it just came naturally. There's some coordination going on. Collaboration. Ex-Mongo Project said, I'm booing because of his disingenuous account of the negotiations. He omitted his opt-in, yes, when talking about his offer, but included it when talking about Kawhi's, so it seems the offer was so far apart. He said they were offering him $60 million, and that was not true. It was 60 on top of the opt-in for 50, so that starting point was $110 million. And by the way, even the part where he says that they didn't offer him the same as Kawhi is still just coming from him. No one knows if that's true, because Lawrence Frank has said they went to their agents in the midst of the big 26-5 run before their agents came to them to talk about an extension. They already upped the offer. So it's possible that they did offer him the 150 around the time they offered it to Kawhi. Who knows? Jay said, okay, MKXLNT said, you can get tickets first row terrace for under $50 each. I mean, for an arena like that, it's worth it. Chase said, yeah, I wish the tickets were not as pricey. Clippers are always built on the affordable ticket. Wish Ballmer would make his money on concerts and give us Clippers fans a break. I mean, it's a brand new arena. It's way nicer. You're paying for the new amenities, the new features, the technology, having a controller at your seat. I get what you're saying. But it sounds like there are plenty of affordable options too. Chris G said we should start creating a second wall. Teams are now choosing to play the wall in the first half, except for Phoenix. Jay said, oh, yeah, it has a clean slate for me for now. After hitting that 3 from the Norm pass where he went between his legs to split the defense, it was nasty. Norm, I think, just had his best passing game as a Clipper. I am dead serious. Norman Powell was awesome tonight with his playmaking. He still had a bad turnover or two, but guys, Norman Powell was doing a lot. That was a really good game from him. Dunn also had a great kick out to Amir Coffey on a 3-pointer that really put the game away because it was down to 15 points, and that was a really big 3. And the 3-point shooting has showed up the last 2 games now. Interesting. Guys aren't turning down shots. There were even multiple wide open 3s missed in the far side corner off of great passes from Ivica Zubac in the short roll. Waited for the double, kicked it out. BK said, what do you think of playing Bones instead of KPJ in the second unit? Sure, but KPJ has been a part of a 5-man lineup that has been good for them. With him next to Dunn, next to Amir, next to Batum, next to Ivica Zubac. They went +1 in like 4 minutes again tonight. That Mexican R, can't wait to hear his comments on his podcast. The only time I'd be listening. There's another aspect to this. What did Dallas Rutherford say? To which he then made his account private or deleted the tweet. What did Dallas Rutherford say? It was something nasty. Like bum-ass Clippers or something. What did he say? You know, one of his lackey guys. ST said, I swear, for time to time you could catch PG looking longingly at the Clippers bench. Chemo LA Clippers said, I think it'll be Blake, CP, DJ, Sweet Lou, J Crossover, Brand, PG, Kawhi getting jerseys retired. I don't think you're wrong. Oh, and Ralph Lawler. There you go. That Mexican Nara said Miller had bad body language also. He had a bad turnover, I think. Miss Shake said, why did Bones keep blowing in his hands? I love him, but every time he touched the ball, something happened. He had, I think, a turnover early. Oh, he had that really bad pass. He tried to go a fancy wraparound behind the back pass. Oh, this is harsh. Let your voices be heard. Edmondo said, sup. Jeremy said, did the newspapers on the wall have a meaning or just for distraction? I'm also wondering that. Were they all with the same argument? Or the same article? Making a certain argument towards Paul George? What was on the newspapers, Miss Shakes? And for anyone who was in the wall, was there a certain thing in the newspaper? What was it? Or was it just to try to distract him with the shaking of it? Rock said, I mean, the whole idea of retiring their numbers is what they did year 2 of the tenure. If the Clippers reach those heights again in the near future, do they still have the same impact overall? Yeah, because they did it first. And damn it, guys. If Kawhi doesn't tear his ACL, they're winning the championship. We roll and said, dogs over podcasters. Nah, but he was talking mad-ish. But shout out Norm for talking back and letting him know what's the deal. Norm City jersey, my next jersey. I get that. Chemo LA Clippers said his post game he gave some love, but also essed on the Clippers, saying it wasn't full and calling fans stupid. Now, see, this is what I don't like. This is misinformation. He did not call fans stupid. There's a difference between saying it's stupid and calling fans stupid. I'm not going to stand for that stuff. There is nuance to this. I'm guessing my hair looks green because of the green screen effect. Guys, to be clear, he didn't call fans stupid. It's not the same thing. He was saying it's nonsensical to boo a guy who's a free agent and left rather than, a guy that was asking to be traded or something like that. It's not the same situation as a guy who's just a straight up free agent. I mean, it's stupid. I was a free agent. It wasn't something that I demanded a trade or went against the team. They presented a team-friendly offer, and I did what was best for me. There were cheers. Those are the ones I played for. There were boos. I didn't get it. He said he didn't get it going back to the boos he gets with the Pacers, too. Jonathan Rodriguez said coffee has turned into prime Ray Allen. I mean, he's brimming with confidence, you could say. Clippers, by the way, how many three-pointers did they get up? It was still just 28, but they shot 12 of 28, 43%. So 51% against the Spurs, 43% against Philadelphia. They got a lot of wide open shots, especially in that far side corner. Guys were finding them in the short roll. I mean, there were some they still missed, but Amir Coffey went 2 of 3 from 3. Nico knocked down a 3. Norman Powell, 6 of 8 from 3. Guys, he's shooting 51% from 3 his last 5 games, Norman Powell. Miss Shake said, the newspaper was provided, and we were saying old news, but part of the wall was saying PG sucks, LOL, which ruined it. Old news. I get it. Chemo LA Clippers said parking is outrageously priced more than the tickets. Jay said, did realize that after the tribute, PG said thank you to everybody, but waved off the wall section. LOL. I like how he did get a Reggie chant going too. And unlike Blake, PG did talk to Ballmer. Yeah, and he said glowing things about the organization. He said they're first class all the way, and he enjoyed his time with being a partner with the front office. Now, I would say he was probably too involved for some of those moves and had too much influence sometimes. Yeah, I'm drinking Diet Coke at 12:43 a.m. Chemo said, I found some other options outside of the structure. Okay. Deca Fantastic said, Staples has a concentration of people already in downtown causing easy fill. Clippers will get there in the next few years as Inglewood develops. This is our stadium for years. That's a great point. All the surrounding area is still developing, guys. X-Mongo Project said, if man missed that Norm pass, man haters would be furious. Yes, they would. Deca Fantastic said, Staples, when originally built, had a ton of empty seats when downtown was dead. Yeah, to further his point, that Mexican Nara said, I'll give man credit. He was less hesitant tonight. He was. I thought Terrence Mann had a solid game overall. After the 3 hit, he then got a bucket on Maxey on the right block where he kind of bullied him. And it felt like one of those spark plug classic Terrence Mann third quarters where he really had it going and was creating a run for the Clippers. Ross said, Dunn ran the offense very well tonight, 5 assists. He can do that. Deca Fantastic said Bones' attitude was contagious. Kimu LA Clippers said, would you rather have Bones play or KPJ? Jay said, Bones is a good player, but it's disappointing he's going to kill his career with his body language and attitude when he is not playing. If everybody's feeling like that about Bones, maybe it was not just me that thought something didn't seem right when he was out there, which we thought during garbage time he was like that last year. Chris G said, have you guys tried the Korean chicken and waffle fries at the Dome? Would definitely recommend. Jay said, Folger Soldier. That's one of the best nicknames for Brian Seaman or from Brian Seaman about Amir Coffey. Cali 2025 said, I love how well we're doing right now. I hope it intensively continues. Toronto, OKC, and Houston back-to-back. You're missing one, my guy. They play Sacramento next. Hip to Clip said, I'm in the supporters section and received an email yesterday about the plans for the Think Before You Speak signs and newspapers. Okay, there you go. So the supporters section, you guys are schemers. Jay said developing equals gentrification. Inglewood is already developed. Been there a long time before the arenas. I mean, there are more restaurants and stuff popping up around that area, to my knowledge. So I think, with the SoFi Stadium and now Intuit Dome and the Forum all there, it's going to be popping. Evilbot said, can't wait to see the red unis on November 22nd. Is that confirmed? I feel like I did a read for it today, and I can't even remember. Would you rather have Bones play or KPJ? I'm a big Bones guy, but if the body language thing is real, man, you can't do that. It's just, I don't think there's a great answer to this right now, but it doesn't look like they're giving up on Kevin Porter Jr. If he gets suspended, I expect Bones to get run. But then again, they could just have Chris Dunn play, make, and handle the ball and have Jordan Miller get some run then too, or they shorten the rotation. Who knows? Al Max said, did the fans give PG-13 a proper welcome? Yeah, I think so. I think they brought it. Chris G said, must win both Rockets games, important games. Yeah, the only problem with Cali 2025 is he missed their next game on the schedule, which would be up in Sacramento. Jay said, Bones got called out for his behavior in Denver too. I mean, he does have a track record. He did get sent home last season with PJ Tucker. I think it's pretty clear. Bones has not been happy. That Mexican Nara said, really hope with Bones play tonight, I hope KPJ doesn't get suspended. Ghost said, how are you feeling about the Kings matchup? You a Kings fan, right? I grew up a Kings fan. I'm not the least bit conflicted when they play the Clippers. I couldn't tell you the Kings record right now. Honestly, I don't follow closely anymore. I start working for the Clippers. They were my LA team because obviously I couldn't stand the Lakers. I hope they smoke the Kings, but it's going to be tough. ST said Bones Highland was out there looking like cartilage lowlands. What's that in reference to? JaVale said, super happy with how well Derrick Jones Jr. played tonight. He's taking his threes when we need him to. Yeah, Derrick Jones Jr. had a rough couple of games. And then tonight, 5 of 6, 1 of 2 from 3, 14 points. I love Derrick Jones Jr., guys. He is a badass. He had the dunk off the PG turnover thanks to good defense from Norm early on. Then a lob from Harden from around half court, I think. And then he had in the third an and one to start the third quarter. And then I think he had a dunk off of a lob from Norman Powell. A right-handed hammer. That was just crazy. Let's see. EvilBot says KPJ is the answer because no matter how good you are, this is a team sport and they don't need that behavior. That's why they sent home PJ. Was there anything definitive about Bones' behavior tonight? I just thought there was a situation where Coach Lou was trying to get his attention, and I wasn't sure if Bones was listening. But I don't want to read too much into it. It may have been nothing. X-Mongo Project said, our problem with the Kings before is that we're old and have difficulty chasing them around. Now we have younger athletes. This is all true. They're better suited against them, but you're going to have to score too. Like, as good as you can play defensively against them, you're going to have to score against Sacramento. Is national TV Norm a thing? I think Norm in the starting lineup is the thing. Norm spoke about taking advantage of the opportunity and wanting to be in this position for so long, guys. It honestly tugged at my heartstrings post-game, listening to Norman Powell and how much this means to him. And the way he is fully taking advantage of being in the starting lineup and this huge, huge opportunity. Guys, I can't be happier for Norman Powell. That one hits close to home. Like a guy who's put in the work for this long, that has wanted more minutes, that has wanted to be a starter, that has wanted to be an all-star, and he's just coming out and balling. Like that's, it's relatable. Like you think you're good enough, you're getting overlooked at times. People don't believe in you. You keep doing the work, you keep grinding, you get your opportunity, you take off and run with it. Art H said, when will Mo come back, you think? He will be helpful. I don't know. Ross said the Kings are 5-3. Al Max said, if we didn't sign Harden, Bones would be going off as our starting point guard. He just needs the opportunity. I mean, I don't think he'd be the starting point guard, but I think he's a legit backup point guard in this league. Jay said, Kings fan base and Clippers should be friends. We both love stressful teams and both can't stand the Lakers. Frankie Boy 9 said, Adam, did you boo PG too? LOL, man. I can't believe PG thinks it's stupid we booed him. I did not boo him. I actually stood up during his tribute video and clapped. Just, from my perspective, he gave me a lot of good memories. He made my job easier. And I will still, in the end, look back fondly upon his time with the Clippers. Ultimately, it's disappointing, but it's different. I have my own personal relationship with it because, being employed by them and working in the business and getting to do the broadcasts and stuff, that stuff's it's just meaningful to me in a different way. Jay said, Bones just has defeated body language. He looks defeated when he comes in at the end of games. Anytime he starts or comes off the bench and plays, he is fine. I agree with that. Chemo LA Clippers said Norm should definitely be a starter. Kawhi will take T-Man's spot when he gets back. This is the truth. Ross said the three young players' transition defense was not good. Bones settled down at the minute mark and started running the offense, then shot the ball without a pass. Yeah, I noticed that too. He did hit a jumper. The Evil Bot said Norm earned the starter at shooting guard for the rest of the season. 8 games in. I mean, it's looking like it. Certainly his job to lose. I don't think you can take him out. Javal 18 said, Law said that Mo is doing contact practice and is shooting around with the team. Ross said, we need Mo back now and let Kai develop more. Sergio said, Clippers win, Lakers lose. What a night. Like I always say, I root for 2 teams, Clippers and whoever is playing the Lakers. Jonathan Ing said, I think Jordan Miller looked unhappy with Bones' play. Maybe. Jordan didn't look good either. He went 0-1 and had a bad turnover. It was slop. It was bad. Kobe Brown scored right away. That was kind of cool. Went to the right block. Got a tough layup. But, I'm not judging the garbage time minutes too harshly or anything. What I'm encouraged by is how good the Clippers were with shrinking the floor at times. My goodness. They made life so tough on Philly. And turning the 20 turnovers into 27 points, I mean, that is a great turnover to points ratio there. Like a point per turnover is typically what you want, and they went way above that. 27 points off of Philly's 20 turnovers, guys. And the defense was really sharp, really in tune. Jay said, it's beginning to be a Clippers thing to have toxic breakups with their stars, Griffin, Brand, PG, Paul. I think that is less toxic, though. Nothing ends unless it ends badly. Like most stars, if they leave the team and come back, get booed. It's not that abnormal. X-Mongo Project said, yeah, because Miller plays within the system and not trying to force it. But if you're not getting the ball, it's frustrating. I mean, he got the ball. He turned it over. Jonathan Ing said, I'm happy we got our first decisive victory and didn't need crunch time. I mean, they didn't have clutch time against San Antonio, actually. They blew past clutch time. They came back so fast. But this one, obviously, about the 3:30 mark, it was over. Coach Lou could bring in the backups. They could play that bad, and it still didn't matter, basically. I thought Ivica Zubats had some timely plays where they were really looking for him. I liked seeing that, of course. Big Zoo, he had that left-handed hook early on, then a dunk with the left hand, and then a really nice high pick and roll, Harden to Zoo They put it off the window. That was all first quarter. Then Zoo had a left-handed hook over Drummond after missing a right-handed hook in the second quarter. And then Zoo had like the easiest play of the night where Harden lost the ball and nobody was there near the basket where the ball was, right underneath it. And Zoo just picked it up and dunked it. Light work for Big Zoo. What were some of the other, fourth quarter? I'll go through the game log here. First, PG hits that fall away over Dunn and Batum. That shot was insane. Then Batum knocked down a jumper off a Norm pass right afterwards. It was good to see that because I think it was like an 8 to 10 footer from Batum, and he hasn't gotten many easy ones to go. And again, another nice pass from Norman Powell there. PG again over Chris Dunn. Tough fadeaway. Norm 3. Dunn steal on PG, and then Norm misses the dunk but got fouled. Then it was that back and forth with PG guarding Norm close, draws a foul, and then Norm, or that was after Norm got one on him, where Norman Powell was playing Paul George really close, overly aggressive. He got called for a foul. Coach Lou was praising Norman Powell for that defense, though. And then Paul George basically did the same thing on the other end. But then a mere 3 on Paul George after his rotation was late. He was hedging. He was shading over. He was trying to give some help defense, and he got caught. And Norm made the pass, the kick out to Amir Coffey on a far side corner 3. Out of the timeout, though, Paul George did lock up Norm and rip it from him and get a steal. Then there were a couple bad possessions, and Coach Lou called another timeout immediately. That sense of urgency. Within, the next minute and a half, he called another timeout. He was not waiting around. And then maybe the biggest shot or the dagger. Clippers shrunk the floor. They got a turnover. Batum missed a 3. The Clippers ended up giving it back. Harden had a really sloppy play, a really bad turnover, but it was down to a 15-point game. Amir hits a 3 on a Chris Dunn kickout. Nice feed. They're up 18. That was pretty much it. So Derrick Jones Jr. to Zoo for the and one dunk late. That might have been actually the dagger. Then PG came out. Paul George came out for Reggie Jackson. A Norm 3 after Reggie traveled. So, yeah, I mean, a lot of big plays late. Another Harden turnover that was awful, looking for Norman Powell. Zoo broke up a lob. The game was over. Al Max said, do you think the team is playing better than last year, or is it on par? No. They're not playing better than last year. They went on a 26-5 run last season. It's the best run in franchise history. It's the best the Clippers team has ever played. So, no. I'm sorry, I can't say that. Art H said, Zoo definitively or definitely a top 10 center. It's just facts now. I don't know if it's facts now, guys. I don't. Like, I can bring up center stats to go through some of the centers in this league right now. Like, okay, he's not better than Jokic. Is he better than Karl Anthony Towns, who's playing a bunch of center? Like, can you really say that? No. Is he better than Şengün? No. There's 3. Is he better than Victor Wembanyama? No. There's 4. Is he better than Bam Adebayo? No. There's 5. Is he better than Anthony Davis? No. There's 6. Is he better than Rudy Gobert? I don't think so, but by the end of this season, he might be, honestly. So I think there's still 10 guys or 9 guys at least that you can say are better than Ivica Zubac when you really go through the list. When you talk about Embiid too, like it's easy to say top 10, top 5, and then you go through the list of things and it's like, oh, now that I actually have to rank them, This is tough. Ex Mongo Project said, I meant Miller looks like a system player, but when your point guard is doing his own unserious thing, it's frustrating and contagious. I mean, how could you tell, though, by tonight's play that he's a system player or really extrapolate anything out of those 3 minutes and 20 seconds or whatever they played? Deca Fantastic said, Ex Clippers did well tonight, but almost all lost. PG, Russ, Brandon Boston doing some things. Rock said, I think no matter how hard we think, Bones should just know to be a pro and keep his head up. The whole playing time situation has to be extremely frustrating while fighting for your first negotiation. Did we make a mistake letting Brandon Boston leave? Like, how is he going to play on this team? Evilbot said, I said this on Clips and Dip like a week ago. Like, would anyone be surprised if Brandon Boston actually, when I was making my case for Jordan Miller to play, I was saying that what if Brandon Boston goes out there right now and ends up being a rotation player? Would anyone be that shocked by that? He never got a real shot with the Clippers because they weren't developing young talent. I get it to some degree. They had championship aspirations and he didn't play good the majority of the time. They did get minutes, but you can't afford to do that with Jordan Miller now. He's about to turn 25. He's older than Brandon Boston. Evil Bot said PG's regretting not staying with the Clips. Deca Fantastic said Clippers IG caption for the win post was sums it up. For sure, a reference to Norm's addition by subtraction. Be right back. About to tag the podcast P in a comment. Rock said Şengün seems like a reach of accounting for defense. But he's so good offensively. Jay said Zoo, greatest Croatian player of all time. I don't know. Name the other ones. Ex Mongo Project said basing from his summer league play. Great. Summer league. Different game. Doesn't matter, dude. Just does not. Summer league doesn't. I'm sorry. It's meaningful in the fact that he dominated it, but you can't compare it to NBA basketball nor preseason. It's pointless. You still don't know. Look, do I think Jordan Miller is going to be a guy who plays within the system? Yes. But he's never got real NBA minutes. Frankie Boy 9 said, hi, Adam. I just heard PG saying that the Clippers fans need to pack the wall more. You think that's a shot at us? I don't know. I don't want to read into everything or just take everything as a negative and a shot or shade from Paul George. Deca Fantastic said Brandon Boston got cut by the Spurs too, which they probably feel worse than the Clippers do. You're right about that. You're right about that. That's a great point. This is why I need you guys, the chat, always making some good points. I just had to weed out some of the bad apples, some of the people that were just spamming earlier. Rock said Harden fatigue hitting more often seems to be impacting Zoo scoring opportunities. It could. They are connected. But Zoo has to be responsible for his play too. Well, big men are, of course, dependent on guys getting them the basketball. Vita Zubats has to be demanding. He has to make good decisions when the double comes. He has been. Just keep going. That's all. 15-9 in 33 minutes. Now, the Clippers did play a lot of small ball, and it worked. But you guys won't give Coach Lue any credit whenever it does work. You always just say, when it doesn't work, you point to it. Just wanted to point that out myself. It was very successful. Especially when you got Batum, he can make a lot of those lineups work. Jay's interested in Trenton Flowers. Who's he playing over, bro? They can't even get Jordan Miller out there yet. Evilbot said, so far the sign of Airplane Mode 55 and Dungeon 8 are exceeding expectations. Yeah, for sure. Jay also acknowledging that Terrence Mann was better tonight. Good on him. Good on you for acknowledging it. Holo Dolo said, I think Harden is just missing shots rather than being fatigued. It's a slump in my opinion. I'll be patient with him. Most importantly, we're winning. They're 4-4. Breaky Boy 9 said, I love how KPJ moves with the ball. As soon as he gets his shots in, I think he will be amazing. We shall see. Deca Fantastic said San Diego Clippers debut this weekend. Need a live after during the game. I never made that promise, okay? I don't know if I'm ready for that. I'm doing 7 shows a week. What more do you want from me? Because it's real manual labor or something really that tough, Adam. Relax. Check yourself, Osland. Think before you speak, Adam. So the Clippers led by as many as 22. Philly led by as many as 7. They had 14 lead changes. I want to say, like, how many of those were just in the first half alone? Felt like, yeah, they all were in the first half, the 14 lead changes. How could that? Because they were tied at the half at 51. They were tied 9 different times. Yeah, that third quarter by the Clippers, though, guys, really, really good stuff in there. I don't know if I mentioned some of the game notes I had for what they did in the third quarter, which I probably should, because there was initially Paul George almost having a putback dunk on Zoo, but then Norm to man for that 3 after going that crazy between the legs play between multiple defenders. Then Man had a layup. A 5-second violation on the Clippers at 64-60. Forgot about that. Harden went on a run then. I think he had a 5-0 run in that third quarter. That was really good to see. James Harden, while he didn't have a great game scoring-wise by any means, I do want to point that out, that run he went on was really pivotal in the third quarter. That's when things started to open up. In fact, I need to open up the game log on that third quarter, because now I'm thinking about it. That was kind of a big deal, Adam, you dumbass. Probably should have brought this up earlier. So the Clippers, that's when they got their separation. They outscored them 33-17 by 16 points in the third quarter. Outscoring a team by 16 points in a quarter is not easy. Outscoring a team by 26 points in a quarter, like San Antonio did to the Clippers in the first quarter, really not easy. But I'm not here to talk about that. I'm here to talk about that James Harden run. Yeah, at the 4:30 mark. So it's still a 2-point game with 4:43 left in the third quarter. And now the Clippers are about to go on a run. I think it ended up being 14-2 run or 16-2 run. And it started with a James Harden floater. Then he got to the free throw line. Then he hit a 3-pointer. So we're talking about a guy with a quick 7-0 run. Yabusele got an easy one to go. Then James Harden gets fouled on the 3. So then he hits all 3 free throws in what was a 2-point game. Within 2 minutes, the Clippers are now up by 10. That's all James Harden, guys. So as much as people are talking about, his shooting and all that, I mean, he made that run for them. 2, 4, 7. I mean, he scored 10 straight points for the Clippers there before Kevin Porter Jr. got his only 2 points off a nice feed from Chris Dunn. Chris Dunn makes a layup. Oh, and then had the driving dunk where he went baseline to end the third quarter as the Clippers are just surging to end the quarter. And Chris Dunn not only gets that dunk, guys, but he gets back on defense and makes a great defensive play on Kyle Lowry to not even let him get a shot off to end the third quarter. Chris Dunn was phenomenal there. That Mexican Nara said thoughts on Russ's current run. What run? We're talking about Russell Westbrook? Is he going on a good run or bad run? Oh, yeah, 29 points tonight. Let me see what Russell Westbrook has been up to, because he was shooting 20% through like the first 6 games. So let's see. Hey, the last 2 were much better. After going 2 of 10, 0 of 8, 3 of 7, 5 of 12, 1 of 8, 2 of 11. Last 2 games, 6 of 10. And then tonight, they took down OKC to give them their first loss, 124 to 122. Denver won that. Russ had 29, 6 and 6, 10 of 15. Good for Russ. Jay said, one thing I don't miss is PG rarely getting calls. Not really his fault, but annoying. Man. Meanwhile, Harden gets some calls that even the foul on the three-pointer, I thought he kicked his legs out enough that they could have. I think that's one Philly was trying to get overturned. I thought they had a case there. I got to be honest. Rock said, how long have you been with the team? I forget. My first year of being with the Clippers was 2016, 2017. So I haven't seen a losing season. Chemo, LA Clippers said, hitting the sack. Peace out, y'all. Peace out, Chemo. Deca, fantastic. You're fantastic. Thank you. I wish I could see a pixelated hippo chomps on a 1-up. Like a hungry hippo. Thank you for the $2, my friend. You guys ever seen Dirty Work? Here's your $2. It's one of the most underrated, greatest comedies ever. Directed by Bob Saget, starring Norm Macdonald. May they both rest in peace. Comedy legends. Evilbot said, here's 5 a.m. and I'm still watching this awesome channel. Oh, my guy's really up. I'm sorry. I love you, Evilbot. Holo Dolo said, Harden's third quarter spurt was great, but if he can have stints like those 2 to 3 quarters instead of 1 to 2, we can be great. Yeah, I mean, Harden's not at his best yet, and they're 4-4. That has to be encouraging. Jay said, Adam, why don't you talk more during games? Aren't you the radio color commentator, or am I wrong? Not officially. Carlo brings me on a lot, though, which is super nice of him to do, and we have a good time. I get to talk plenty. Edmundo said, Bones' body language a bit overblown. He had a bad turnover, but he just needs to lock back in. Got back home from the game safe. Thank you for the stream, like always. Glad you got home safe in Mondo. X-Mongo Project said, yep, Summer League have lesser competition. It's getting late. My point was his play looks highly dependent on everyone being in sync, like a plug-and-play guy. He didn't play well because he dominated the ball. I get it. Jay said, what was your favorite alley-oop from tonight, Adam? I think the norm to Derek Jones Jr. with the right hand going baseline, because what happened there was Derek Jones Jr. was hiding in that far side corner, and Ivica Zubac kicked it to him for a three-pointer. I think he missed it, but they went back to that play later, and Derek Jones Jr. still hiding in the far side corner, but then crept up as Norman Powell attacked, and he threw him that lob as he got to the dunker spot in time. Jay said, you and Carlos a billion times better than Sean. I ain't here to bash on anybody else. Come on now. Jay said, my son was wearing his Clips PG jersey, but still got his booze in. LOL. Oh, man, what a night. Just 4-for-4, but feels good after these 2 wins. I mean, it should feel good. Enjoy them all. I go for the perspective of not too high, not too low, but celebrate the wins. Celebrate the wins in your life. Celebrate the wins with the Clippers in your life. Because every game is so meaningful with this team. When you're a fringe, they might be somewhere between 6 and 10. So every game is going to matter for seeding purposes. Really. Like, if they can make the play-in, that's how tight things are going to be. Rock said, I was wrong about the Warriors not being the Warriors, but I still believe they will tire out down the line. Did they beat Boston tonight, guys? Did the Golden State Warriors beat Boston? They did in Boston. Wow. I don't like that. My cousin's a Warriors fan. He's been talking a lot of junk, saying how they're a title contender. I don't believe they are, but they are off to a hot start. Sergio said, I want my $2. Better Off Dead. One of the best movies. Was Cusack? Ross said, Adam, I disagree. The 76er player didn't allow Harden to land, which is against the rules. But Harden kicked his feet so far out that it's almost an unnatural basketball move. That's what the 76ers were arguing. Like, why is he kicking his feet that far forward like that? Because he's trying to draw the foul, which they're trying to get away from. I think that in many situations that would not be called a foul on the defender. Clippers got the benefit of some calls tonight, guys. I got to be honest with you. X Mongo said the call was too close. It could go either way. Clippers definitely got the benefit of some calls tonight. I know we don't say that often, but I will. Julio Muchida, our friend from Italy, said, think before you speak. My wife always telling me that. Jay said, we are better versus the Warriors than the Celtics, so that's good. Transitive property stuff, I don't know about that. Styles make fights, my friend. That Mexican Nara said, you can tell your cousin the Clippers are the only team to give them an L. I did tell him that. I think that's why he's not talking too much junk, even though they beat Boston tonight. He doesn't want to hear about the Clippers beating them. Deca Fantastic said, we are almost at the 10-game sample. What is one lineup rotation adjustment you predict from Ty Lue? Kai maybe to just be out of it completely. I know that's going to be crazy for people who thought he should be the starting center over Ivica Zubac, but I could see them going down to just a 9-man rotation and playing small and waiting for Mbamba to get back. Norm made a comment about how that small ball lineup is a necessary one. Not a necessary one. He said it's going to have to be good because he basically, it sounded like they're going to be using it a lot. They better get used to it or something. Norm Powell said something to that degree post game. I'm fading. I only got a couple more minutes, guys. Jay said, Harden gets some amazing calls. LOL, the arm hook trash works every time. It's a lot cooler when he's on your team doing it, right? Giuseppe said, when will the wall have an Adam Oslin sign? Adam, think before you speak. I try. I fail. Deca Fantastic says, Kobe Brown small ball 5 is my prediction to swap for Kai till Bamba is back. I don't think that's a bad prediction. I could see that. To get Kobe a sample size, a little run. I could see that. I think that's smart. Deck has been on it. Jay said, yeah, possible Brown for Kai change. I still think a lot of it is just like record dependent. They won't try that if they're a couple games under 500. They'll probably just play Batum there still. Or maybe Mo Bamba is coming back sooner than later. Les said, you heard Brandon Boston has been hooping. I've been hearing in here. That's part of my argument of why you need to play Jordan Miller to see what you have. There was a legit excuse to not give Brandon Boston many minutes by the way he played whenever he got some with the Clippers and the fact they always had so many talented teams and veteran-laden teams that it just wasn't feasible to get a young guy much run. Now, I don't think they have that excuse. I think Jordan Miller needs to get run so you can find out who he is as a player. So you don't have a Brandon Boston situation where, I don't know, what if he becomes a key rotation piece for a team? Would anyone be shocked? Shocked. That Mexican Nara said, does Norm's bold bad for Bamba's return? What? Jay said Brown was the only guy hustling in the last minutes. His ball handling is helpful in theory. X Mongo said, I feel better whenever Batum is on the floor. Yeah. I'd play him at the 5 over Kobe, but if it's for seeing what we got with Kobe in year 2, I'm fine with it. I agree. Jay said, I'm at work, Adam. Don't start yawning now. LOL, get some rest. Good win tonight, boys. Let's go, Clippers. All right. I'm tired, guys. I can't believe how many people are still in here. I can't believe we got somebody from Italy. I can't believe there's people on the East Coast still here. I do love you all. I just got to get, my beauty sleep. Can't you tell? And I'll be podding tomorrow. Shows will be done. Things to do. I think we unpacked this one and talked enough about Paul George. We'll do it again in 3 weeks when they are in Philadelphia. Expect MB to be back. You want to see him fully healthy. You want to play everyone fully healthy. If anyone should know about that life, it's the Clippers. You want to be healthy. You want to play everyone fully healthy, to be tested. Ross said, thank you, Adam. Good night. Appreciate you. X Manga Project said it's 5 p.m. here. Can stay for the next 4 hours. Evil Bot said I'm not in the U.S. I don't know where everybody's coming from out of the woodwork. Jay said, yeah, Miller excelling in the G League, Summer League, and preseason. Would hate them to just stagnate his development now. My point is, when you draft guys that late, when you draft guys that old, the point is to play them sooner than later. Jordan Miller is going to be 25 by the end of this season. There's not time to waste. You have to find out what you have. Rock said, also nice to see Keon Johnson is getting minutes, even though he wasn't with us long. Same with Musa. So, did the Clippers draft so poorly? Interesting. Maybe a lot of it is just circumstantial and opportunity. And the Clippers were in a win now mode. And young guys weren't going to get much run during that. Now, I don't know if they have that excuse. I want to see Jordan Miller at some point, please. All right. I want to see everybody back here tomorrow. Cool. I appreciate you guys. Big night, big win. 110-98. Clippers take down Paul George and the Philadelphia 76ers at Intuit Dome. It's 2 in a row. They'll be in Sacramento Friday night. We'll talk about that game. Maybe I'll have a guest on tomorrow. I look forward to being back on with you guys. I'm Adam Osland. This has been another edition of Clippers Talk.